in which each and every stakeholder is involved, not just coding or the technical stuff,
So is it done by a peer developer?
be it a technical risk or a non-technical risk. As a project manager, we work on AI and ML also.
Speed doesn't compromise with the quality that we are providing.
Code review, it goes through the pipeline to the developer.
What is actually going on, and hence when we are developing any product, so we will be able to make a better sense out of it, and we can suggest also better because we know the why. Hi everyone, this is Muskar and I work in the digital marketing team at WonderBiz, and I have Sameer here with us today, who is a project manager here at WonderBiz, and I have stealed some of his time today to talk about the behind the scenes, what goes on in the operations at WonderBiz, and how does the development look like from behind the scenes. So hi Sameer, how are you today?
I'm Mustan. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too, thank you. So let's get started. So you work with our global clients, right? And we are their offshore development partner and not just a service provider, right? So how do we differentiate as a partner instead of just being a service provider?
So basically, the delivery partners work in a transactional mode, and they were more in terms of the scope, delivery, timelines. Also, most of the times they are not aligned with their strategic goals. So, but we at WonderBiz are a little different. We are not just their partners, but we are as an extension of their team. So when I say the extension of their team, I mean that we are involved in their strategic decisions also. We provide our inputs, ideas in their decision making process also.
Okay.
And we also is our team is involved in right from the inception, right? Like when we start working on the roadmap for the quarters. So our team is involved right from the beginning. So we are not just a service provider partners or just a team, but we are as an extension of their team.
Okay. So basically we don't just execute what they tell us to do, like the stories, say from the stories or from a little behind that. We are actually giving inputs right from the spec or the design phase of any of the feature or any of the software that they are developing.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's great. So that is why we are involved from the very start. And do they take our inputs into consideration while working on the features or the software and so on?
Yes, absolutely. We provide input right from the design phase, as I mentioned. The reason being, our team is not just a development team; it has the domain knowledge also. So our engineers work with them. They are involved in each and every phases of software development life cycle, and our team also are involved, and we also give them the training and of the domain. What is the business goals? What is the business of the customer? We have a habit of asking why we are doing it. So asking of why is very important.
Yes, I understand.
When you ask questions, when you ask why we are taking up this feature, this gives us a little bit of edge over others, so that we can think over it, we can give our inputs in design, in the time of architecture. So this is the way which
Okay. So do our developers and the other development team get to talk to the real users from the client side? Because as you said, we have the business knowledge as well, right? So that would only come while after talking to the real users. So do we get a chance to do that also?
So we also our engineers also interact with customers as well as their customers.
Okay.
So here, as I mentioned, that we are the extension of their team. The project managers which are on site, I mean, they are on their customer side. They also interact with our engineers.
Okay.
So we get the real sense of what is going on, what is the goal, what we are working on.
Yes. Okay. So basically, it would help you understand how it will actually impact instead of just knowing from them what they are doing. We know what is actually going on, and hence when we are developing any product, so we will be able to make a better sense out of it, and we can suggest also better because we know the why. So since we are at the end of the day an offshore development team, so we don't have the same timeline as our clients.
Yeah.
And we sit also separately. We have different timelines. So how do we make sure that communication is not a problem, and then we are actually working as an extension of their team and basically communicating well and integrating the processes well so that everyone is on the same page?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Muskan. And this is the issue most of the time the teams face when they are working on an offshore and onshore model. So here we have a 24/7 development model. When the client is away, we are working, and when they logs in, when we are away, then they logs in. So what happens is that this time difference issue, I will not say issue, this time difference gap, we overcome by having an overlapping hours. So we have a good 4 to 5 overlapping hours with our customers, and we have our important meetings, discussions, plannings, reviews in that overlapping hours. So apart from that, we also bridge this time gap by having our tools, by using tools like Jira, Teams, Confluence. So we provide status updates to them where the customer is updated daily on what is happening, what is going on what our team is working on. So this time gap is really not an issue for us, and we make this as an advantage also, wherein the discussions which has happened, it gives us also time to think over what we discussed and prepare our strategies.
Okay, that's great. So we have our ways figured out in order to make sure that the client is updated.
Yeah.
So do we also have daily stand-ups with them in order to make sure that they are updated on a daily basis?
Yeah. So we work in an agile mode, wherein we follow all the ceremonies which are in agile. So as you also mentioned, like we have an overlapping hour, so we have a daily stand-up wherein the team briefs them about what they are doing
Okay.
and if there are any impediments which are there. So after that, we have regular reviews with them, and in reviews, be it is a design review or an architectural review or any kind of discussion which is needed for the stories.
Okay.
So that also happens. Along with that, we start right from the planning, in which we have a grooming sessions
Okay.
wherein the team asks questions, why we are taking the stories in the sprint, how are we going to achieve our goal
Okay.
as per the roadmap. At the end of the sprint, we have our sprint reviews in which each and every stakeholder is involved,
Okay.
right from the top level management. I mean, right from the management to our engineering teams across the globe. So this way, we are providing them status updates wherein all the stakeholders are aware. Plus, we make, as I mentioned, we make use of our tools also for collaboration, for communication. Because I personally think that communication is very important. If communication is good, half of the impediments are removed there itself. But if we are not communicating, then we are just piling up our issues. We use Teams channels, and then we have our Jira, we have Confluence, wherein the documentation and all the meeting notes, action items, those are added in the Confluence. So we make use of tools also to make this collaboration and communication better.
That's great. So we are making sure that the client is updated about what we are doing. We're making sure even though we are offshore, there is no such gap because of the communication that happens.
Absolutely.
So now that we know that we are updating the clients on a regular basis, and because of that, we are able to make sure that they are on the same page as us. And we also know that our engineers have a higher speed than those in the market or in the industry. So how do we make sure that our speed doesn't compromise with the quality that we are providing? Because speed is important, yes, but quality is just as important, right? So how do we make sure that to bridge the gap?
Absolutely. I would say speed without quality of is of no use, because if you are delivering a low quality product, then it will again come back
Correct.
in the form of revert.
Yes.
So yes, speed is important as well as quality is also important. So we make sure that our quality is topmost quality. So thanks to our processes, what we have built in, like peer code reviews, automation, then we also have the reviews with the stakeholders. And these are not optional, these are mandatory. So whenever a developer codes, we also provision a little bit of time for writing unit test cases. So that improves our coverage also, so that unit test cases are executed, then the code is pushed to the repository. Once the code is pushed to the repository, it goes to code review.
Okay.
We have a predefined checklist, code review checklist, wherein it checks everything, including are there any compiler warnings that has to be removed. So the code which is going after code review has to be very clean. So once the code review is done, then it goes to the collimated tools. We use 4 types of collimated tools which are inbuilt in our CI pipeline. We have SonarQube, we have BDBA, we have BDH. So when these tools are executed, those reports are also analyzed. It's not just for seeking running of those tools. So those collimetry tools reports are also analyzed, looked into, issues are resolved. We also look into our technical depth.
Okay.
Is there any refactoring required? So all these are processes, and these are mandatory processes. Nothing is optional. So this is how we deliver very high quality code.
Okay.
And once this code is passed, then it goes into the repository and is deployed in a test environment. So in test environment, our QA team executes their manual test cases. Plus, we have also built our automation test suite.
Okay.
So that automation test suite takes care of our regression testing. Whatever code is in the repository, that is daily analyzed. Those test cases are daily run. Nightly job is run. So any new code which is to be put in when it goes to production, it is again checked through our automation tests.
Okay.
So we also enhance our coverage in automation test suite. So in this way, we ensure that with the speed we provide a top quality code also.
So, as you mentioned about the code review that is done, so that is done after the unit test cases is run by the developer, right? So, who does it usually? So, is it done by a peer developer only?
Yeah. So the code review, it goes through the pipeline to the developer.
Okay.
He reviews that code. We also do impact analysis where this code is going to, right?
Okay.
So he looks at every possible flow
Okay.
where this code is being or will be affecting.
Okay.
And then he also looks into the warnings, if any warnings are there, like I mentioned. So that is done by the developer.
Okay. That's great that we are doing so many things like code review, automation testing, and so on. So, could you elaborate a bit more about the automation testing part? Like once the code is deployed into the test environment, how does the automation testing part work?
Okay, we are using PyTest with Selenium, and our automation tester writes the script for a particular module, and then through runner it is executed. We have a nightly job
Okay.
which runs every night at 10 p.m.
Okay.
and those test cases are then executed module by module. We also analyze the report which is generated by the test suite,
Okay.
and based on that, if there are any corrections required to script or if there are any issues, those are analyzed and worked.
So, so with the help of automation testing, does it help save the time for the tester?
Absolutely.
Okay.
See, time is money.
Yes.
Initially, what used to happen was that in our process, the quality analysis team, the QA used to raise manual test cases.
Okay.
Okay, and they also used to write automation test cases. For regression, what they used to do is that in the sprint, they used to do manual testing, but once the sprint is completed and we get 1 or 2 days before the next build comes to quality QA team,
Okay.
so in that period they used to run their regression testing.
Okay.
Now, since we have automated test suite, so this time is saved of QA day.
Okay.
Now they can use that time in some other productive task.
Okay.
Okay. So now since our regression is run through automation, so they have some time to do their other productive work. And this in turns gives confidence also. This in turn save time also. And this in turn save costs.
Okay, that's great. So basically, during the time that the automation relation testing is going on, do the testers then work on the newer builds that are coming their way?
Exactly. They are working on the newer builds. Plus, since this automation testing test suite runs, we are able to identify the issues earlier.
Yeah.
And then we are also eliminating the possibility of rework.
Yeah.
So this rework is also saving time as well as cost.
That's great. So now that we have understood about the quality and how the speed and quality go hand in hand, while we are making sure to keep the client also updated, I would like to know how are we making sure that the risks are also addressed? Because of course, every project comes with its risk, and you being the project manager are the one who faces them and deals with them. So how do you make sure that you address them early on?
Okay. As a project manager, one of the most important tasks is identification of risk early. Be it a technical risk or a non-technical risk. Every time I have to find out is there any risk? Will this risk? How is this risk? What degree is this risk? So
Okay.
what we do is that we have a shared risk register.
Okay.
So once we identify the risk, we add it to our shared risk register.
Okay.
And that shared risk register is shared with the client also.
Okay.
So client is also able to see risk. We also have a weekly risk meeting wherein we discuss each and every risk. So the risks which are there in the risk register, those all are visited. The mitigation strategies are identified, and the priority of the risk, that is also identified. So when we in our risk meeting, we when we visit every risk, we see this is now this was high. Is it become medium now, or if it was medium, is this become high now? So we identify first of all we identify our risk early, and we have a mitigation strategy also for that. So that is also discussed with the client.
Okay. So we're making sure the client is aware about the risk also, so that it is not a last minute surprise for them.
Because risk are the most important part.
Okay.
Like I'll just give you one example about a technical risk. So I mentioned previously about the focus code. So one more thing I would like to add is what we do is that either weekly or fortnightly we have one session
Okay.
of this focus code review in which we invite a very senior technical person from the other team also can look at our code. Not only our team is in that meeting, but a team member from other team also there, and he also looks at the code, and we get the feedback from. So the here also we identify if there is any technical risk related to it, or in the discussion.
Okay.
Like we are working on this module now. The code is optimal return.
Okay.
The features which are coming upcoming features when we have to accommodate it here when we will develop, do we need to rework it again? So all these things are discussed.
So it's a great thing that we are involving other teams as a part of our code, so that if they have any other new inputs, they can also share and you all can learn something new from that. That's really great. So that was really great knowing all of these new things about how the development process works behind the scenes and the operations sides as well. So, on an ending note, I would like to ask you one last question. That is, as we know that Industry 5.0 is approaching and we are part of the Industry 4.0. So, how do you think we are ready, stepped into Industry 5.0, and how do we have an edge over other competitors in doing so?
So industry 4.0, we know that AI, ML, IoT, these all things are there. So we work on these technologies, the cutting edge technologies, and we have the expertise in AI, ML, IoT, edge computing. We also work on distributed environments, distributed computing. So in Industry 4.0, we are already working on this project, and this gives us a cutting edge
Okay.
on migrating or moving towards Industry 5.0.
Okay.
Along with that, we also have domain expertise. As I mentioned earlier, also that the team is not only involved in a technical aspect, but they are also involved in the how the customer does the business. What is the business aspect of that? Why we are doing that? How our customers are going to affect. We bring lot of expertise from technical as well as from the domain point of view on the floor.
Okay.
So this is how we are preparing for Industry 5.0.
That's great. So it has been a really insightful session, and I got to learn, and we all got to learn a lot from you about the whole industry point of view and how the development works and everything. So thank you for your time and have a good day.
Thank you, Muskan. My pleasure.
So if you stayed till the end of this video, that's great, and I hope you got to learn something new as well. Please share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you.